life in general. So, I think as of late, I know you've been asking yourself, and I know I've been definitely been asking myself, where did the time go? Where did the time go? You know, we spend our lives, really trying to reach goals, make sacrifices for our family or sacrifices for our personal lives or, just sacrifices in general, just going to work because we got to trade off our time for work. And, you definitely got to go to work or you got to have something going on where you definitely can sustain a certain level of comfortability, if that's the right way to say it. A certain level of comfortability where you can really take care of yourself. If you got a family, take care of your significant other, your partner, or your kids. Anything that you may have going on financially. If you have a car note, but at the same time, it's like, where did the time go? And, as we kind of go on this journey of life and we're, constantly thinking about other things to do, sometimes we may be in a particular career where we just don't like it, right? They say most times people change careers maybe like 5 to 6 times in their lifetime, right? They're seeking, other opportunities or a better quality of work-life balance, but at the same time you still just kind of wonder, where did the time go? And as we constantly like moving forward, and so most of us started working in our early teens, right, on to our 20s. We may have stayed with our family. We may have had like a paper route, if that still exists, leave a comment down below if you had a paper route. But we may have had like a little odd jobs. We maybe had like a little like snow shoveling business, man. I don't know if kids really actually shovel snow nowadays. But all this time, right? We just kind of wondering, this time is just passing and passing. If you could really think back to when you was younger, you may have like big aspirations, and you may had, you probably wanted to be a lawyer, a doctor, a firefighter, or whatever. And then, life is life, and then life hits different once you get to that certain age where, okay, man, I'm really got to figure this out. And once again, you trying to prepare for school. You trying to, you may go back to school. You may think about trying to do something, that'll make you more money. But at the end of the day, you look up, you're getting grades, you're getting older, and you just kind of wonder, where does the time go? You may have had kids young, and you looking at your son or your daughter, and they like, you remember when they were just first born, they steering you, and they was running around, playing with toys and whatever, and now they tall enough and they staring you in the face. And you just kind of wonder, where did the time go? So, what I'm just kind of really driving home, and the consistent thing I'm saying in this thing, is the time. A lot of us, we make time for various different things. We make time to like, doom scroll. We make time for various different things that may not serve us, right? They may not serve us. We may not get no value out of it. But I'm saying to you, take time. Take time to really sit down and invest in yourself. You know, no matter what that is. I don't care if you have artistic ability. I don't care if you write poems. I don't care if you like do music. You know, take time to invest in yourself and really kind of like really think, you know, what can I do, you know, to kind of have some type of happiness, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, we trade off our time for jobs and whatever. And we don't invest in ourselves. We don't look at other avenues of potentially like kind of like building something of our own. And I think the few times that I actually took the time to like build something on my own, it actually worked out. You know, things happen in life. You know, you may fall a few times before you really get it right, but at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things, take time to look at, you know, things that can, you know, serve you financially, you know, aside from what is offered every day, you know. And that's my message. You know, if you kind of resonated with this or you're working toward this, leave a comment down below. And I hope this kind of like confirmed, confirmed or with some type of affirmation. Okay, you know, because like at the end of the day, man, you know, we only got so many years left on this earth. You know, just make that time, you know, count, right? Because we spent a lot of time, you know, just kind of just like wondering and overthinking and all of that. And, you know, you let time like slip through your fingers. All right, y'all. I really appreciate what y'all, appreciate y'all listening to what I got to say. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.